What's up, guys? It's Marcus, the immigration lawyer from Veritas Immigration Law. As you can see, I'm not in my office. It's the weekend and I'm out here with my family. But I wanted to make this video and talk about some common struggles that immigrants, a lot of our immigrant clients are going through right now. And these are not things that are necessarily unique to this time period. It's just, these are common things that everybody experiences, or almost everybody experiences, who's going through the process of immigrating into the United States. So I want to talk about three of the very most common things that people experience, how to overcome them so that you can live a comfortable life here in the United States. Okay, so the first thing that a lot of our immigration clients experience is just learning English. Now, if you come from a Latin American country and you know your first language is Spanish, I would say it's generally pretty easy to get by here in the United States if you only speak in Spanish. A lot of people, even in the northern states here in the United States, it's not difficult to find people who speak Spanish. It's not difficult to get by because even a lot of Americans know and understand Spanish. But if you really want to get ahead and live comfortably in the United States, it's really important that you at least learn some English. I'm not saying you need to be fluent or speak it perfectly, but if you want to get a decent job, make good money, be able to get around more easily and just have more self-confidence living in the US, it's really important that you learn some basic English. It's just the way it is. People will respect you more. It'll be easier for you to communicate and get around and get the things that you want and the things that you need. And like I said, it'll just give you more self-confidence. So your stay in the US will be more comfortable. It's really not hard to learn. I mean, there's a lot of technology out there nowadays to learn English. There's a lot of apps. There's a lot of people who are tutors. It doesn't need to be expensive or difficult. For example, our law firm, we partner with a language school that we can refer our clients to for discounts. You can get one-on-one personalized English tutoring just so you can at least get conversant and a basic conversation skills in English. Okay? So that's the first thing. I really recommend that you at least try to get some basic fluency speaking English for your own sake. It's going to make your life in the US much more comfortable. Okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is transportation. Now, this is very common, especially for clients who are immigrating from Latin American countries, or smaller cities. If you did not grow up in a city or a country, or if you did grow up in a city or a country where there's a lot of public transportation, you were always taking a bus, you were always riding your bike, or you're always taking a taxi to get around, and you never have a car, you never learned how to drive, just because you never had to learn. That's really common, especially down in South American countries where it's just not necessary. You can't live like that in the United States, unless you live in New York maybe, or a really, really big city. In the vast majority of places here in the United States, it's really not possible to get by and live an independent, comfortable life if you don't have a driver's license and you don't have your own car. Because what's going to happen is you're going to become dependent on other people for everything. You're not going to be able to run your own errands and do your own business. You're always going to be depending on other people to help you, and that's just not a fun position to be in. If you want to live comfortably in the US, it's really important that you take the initiative to learn how to drive, take the driving tests, and get your driver's license. Because your life is going to be, I can just tell you, it's going to be really difficult and unpleasant if you're always depending on other people to drive you somewhere or take you somewhere. Plus, it's going to give you so much more freedom and independence here in the US. So that's a really important skill that you need to learn. If you never had to do that growing up in your home country, you definitely want to be aware of that, and you want to I would make that one of your priorities as soon as you get here and you're eligible, you get your work permit. Go and take the test, study and get your driver's license, and get yourself a car if you can. So you're not, like I said, dependent on other people to do everything that you need. Okay, the third thing that I want to talk about is just homesickness and culture shock, culture change. Moving to a new country is obviously, everything's going to be different. The language is different. The food is different. You know, the pace of life is different. The way people do business is different. And a lot of people experience that and they get homesickness. So if you're going through the immigration process, one of the very difficult things is not only experiencing the homesickness, but it's actually the inability to travel back home. A lot of our clients are going through an adjustment of status process, or their visa's expired and they're just not able to travel back home at the time. They're waiting, 6, 8, or 10 months for them to get travel documents or to get their green cards before they can travel back home. And that waiting time can be really excruciating if you're homesick. So what's really important if you're living here and you're in that position is you can't isolate yourself. You gotta find groups at your church, find young adult groups or social groups in town or around you who are gathering to be around people. A lot of immigrant communities, they're very tight-knit. They have WhatsApp groups together, or they have social groups, and you really want to get plugged into people from your home country if you can, who are already around you. They're sharing the same experiences as you are, and it's going to help you to overcome that homesickness. If there's not people around you who are from your home country, then get involved in your church and get involved in volunteer activities. Just do anything to be around other people. Even if you can't speak the language perfectly, or you feel a little bit like an outsider because you're different, or you can't speak English or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just go and be around people. It's going to help you. It's going to help you learn English. It's going to help you feel less lonely, feel connected, and it's going to help you assimilate into the American culture a little bit better. So just do not, I really recommend, just do not self-isolate at all if it's possible. And if you can drive and speak a little bit of English, it's going to help you get connected with people a lot better, and you're going to feel a lot less homesick while you're here in the U.S. So, okay guys, those are some of my tips. I hope that helps you. If you are going through the immigration process and you're finding life in the U.S. difficult, that's very normal. It's not easy to live in the U.S., but it is very rewarding. And so if you're experiencing some of these difficulties, just take my advice here, do some of these things that I'm talking about. It's going to make you feel a lot better. It's going to make your time here in the U.S. much more pleasant. And it's going to relieve a lot of the stress that you might be feeling as you're getting your life started here in the U.S. If you need anything as you're going through your immigration journey, please reach out to us. We want to help you. We want to support you as you're going through this process. You're not alone, and we're here to support you, okay? All right, guys, take care, and we'll talk to you soon.